The Galactic Council chamber had never been this silent. Normally, the Great Hall was filled with voices, arguments, and political noise. But today, not a single creature dared to speak. Every member of every species felt the same cold fear crawling down their spine, because today the humans were gone. Their seats, usually filled with loud opinions, jokes, or strange human confidence, were now empty. Their silver banners, which once showed the rising twin suns of Earth unity, had been removed. Even the digital nameplates had been shut off. The humans didn't explain anything. They didn't argue. They didn't shout or threaten. They simply left, silently. And the galaxy felt that silence like a knife pressed against its throat. The council convenes High Chancellor Vorin, a tall reptilian being with a crest like polished obsidian, stood at the center of the chamber. He tried to stay calm, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him. "Let this meeting begin. We have a crisis." Every representative watched him closely. No one wanted to be the first to speak. It felt dangerous, like waking a sleeping volcano. Finally, the Chancellor forced himself to continue. "The humans have withdrawn from the council. Their fleets have vanished from our borders. Their ambassadors left during the night without a word." A low wave of fearful whispers rolled across the room. This had never happened before. Not with any species, and certainly not with humans. Humans were unpredictable, yes. Emotional, yes. Reckless sometimes, but they were also loyal, courageous. They stood by allies even when others did not, and now they were gone. Representative Lyra speaks. Lyra, a soft-furred avian representative, raised her trembling hand. Humans would never leave without reason. Did someone insult them again? Did someone block their proposals? Her voice cracked with fear. The avians owed much to humans. Humans had saved her homeworld from famine, then from pirates, then from a plague. Her people adored humans. Across the room, another voice answered, Ambassador Kethar of the Torga Union, a large crustacean species with a heavy voice. "We did nothing wrong," he said defensively. "Humans are too sensitive. They take everything personally. They can't handle real politics." Gasps erupted. A few species glared at him with open hatred, but Kethar wasn't finished. "Maybe it's better this way. Humans cause problems wherever they go. Perhaps now the council will have peace." Chancellor Vorin slammed his staff against the floor. "Ambassador Kethar, enough." But the damage was done. The air grew colder. Everyone knew what Kethar said wasn't entirely untrue, but it was far from the whole truth. Humans argued, yes. Humans fought, yes. But humans also fixed, built, healed, and protected. They were the ones you wanted in a war. They were the ones you needed in a crisis. They were the ones who solved problems you didn't even know existed, and now they were not here. A mysterious signal. Suddenly, the lights in the chamber flickered. A distant alarm echoed through the hall. A council technician rushed inside. "Yes, sir, we detected something strange." His skin was pale, his hands shook. Chancellor Vorin frowned. "Explain." "It's a signal, Chancellor. A repeating code coming from the outer rim." "What kind of code?" "That is the problem," the technician whispered. "It is human code." Half the chamber gasped. "Put it on the main display," Vorin ordered. A large holographic projection lit up in the air, symbols, numbers, repeating patterns. Avian representative Lyra leaned forward, feathers trembling. "I know human military codes. My people trained with them. This is a distress beacon." Kethar scoffed. "Humans ran away. Why would they send a distress signal?" The technician swallowed hard. "Because it isn't their distress signal, it's a warning." "A warning for what?" Vorin asked. The technician's voice dropped to a whisper. "Something is coming." A cold hush spread over the chamber. The last human message, the hologram, changed suddenly, showing a short human transmission, only audio. It sounded distorted, damaged, like it had traveled across a dying star. A deep human voice spoke. "If the council receives this, do not repeat our mistakes. Do not ignore the signs. Do not underestimate it. It is older than us, older than all of you, we are preparing our defenses. You must prepare yours. If you do not, the message cut out. Static filled the air. Vorin stared at the frozen hologram. The humans had known. They had left because they knew something terrible was coming. But why didn't they tell the council in person? Why leave silently? Representative Jorah, a small amphibian creature, spoke softly. High Chancellor, what if humans left because they believed we wouldn't listen? No one replied. Everyone knew it was true. Humans had warned the council many times about border threats, about rising pirate factions, about ancient signals in deep space. And each time the council had argued, mocked, or ignored them. Humans weren't perfect, but they tried, and the galaxy hadn't listened. Old wounds, new fears. As more data from the outer rim came in, the council grew restless. Shadows shifted across the hall. Every representative felt the same heavy weight pressing on their chest. A deep blue hologram appeared at the center. It showed a map of the galaxy. One by one, red dots appeared along the rim, places where the signal had been detected. And then something worse. Entire outposts were going silent, not destroyed, not damaged, just silent like the humans. Lyra stood from her seat. This is not a mistake. Something is moving along the rim. Kethar tried to protest, but even his voice was shaking now. We don't even know what it is. The council chamber darkened again as the power flickered. Outside the windows, the stars seemed a little dimmer. The fear no one wants to admit. Vorin finally said what no one else dared to. We need humans. No one argued, not this time. Even species that disliked humans remained silent. Because they all remembered the same thing. Humans had a strange talent, a terrifying gift. When every other species ran away, humans ran forward. When others surrendered, humans adapted. When others died, humans survived. But now humans had withdrawn, leaving the council to face something unknown. Kethar lowered his eyes. Do you think humans knew this would happen? Vorin nodded slowly. I believe they knew long ago. The debate begins. The council broke into chaotic discussion. Should we send envoys to find humans? They won't respond. What if we apologize? They may not forgive us. Why did they leave us in the first place? That, Vorin said heavily, is the question. One representative, a slender creature from the Farlian clans, offered a theory. What if humans did not abandon us? What if they are preparing for war? A cold silence followed. War with what? The technician stepped forward again. There's something more, Chancellor. We received fragments of another human message, much older. It seems they detected this threat years ago. Years, Vorin repeated in shock. Yes, and humans tried to warn us many times, but every warning was dismissed as paranoia. Anger replaced fear in some of the council members. So humans leave and now we learn the truth. They should have told us clearly. They tried, Lyra snapped. We ignored them. Vorin rubbed his temples. Enough, we cannot change the past. We must decide what to do now. The second signal, the chamber lights suddenly dimmed again. A siren blared through the halls. The technician screamed. Another signal incoming. Vorin shouted, is it from humanity? The technician shook his head, pale as death. No, Chancellor, this one is not human. A massive hologram lit up, static, dark shapes, unknown energy patterns. The signal was alien, old, and filled with a kind of hunger that made every creature in the chamber feel sick. The image flickered, then stabilized. It was a silhouette, large, winged, armored with something that looked like bone and metal fused into one. A deep, distorted voice echoed, your cycle ends, we are returning. The hologram vanished instantly. Every heart in the chamber nearly stopped. Vorin slowly turned back to the others. This is the threat humans were preparing for. Kethar whispered, we're doomed. Lyra shook her head. No, humans prepared for this. Humans fought something like this before. Vorin looked at her sharply. How do you know that? She pointed at the first human message. The voice said, older than us, older than all of you. Humans knew this enemy from ancient records, maybe even from contact. Vorin swallowed hard. and humans left because they knew the council wouldn't believe them. The revelation spread like fire. The desperate decision the council had no time left for debate. "We must find the humans," Vorin said firmly, "no matter what it takes." Lyra nodded. "Before the enemy reaches the inner systems." Kethar for once didn't argue, but how? Humans erased their routes. The technician cleared his throat nervously. "There is one thing, one place, a human outpost deep in the nebula clusters, abandoned long ago, but it may hold clues." Vorin nodded. "Then that is our first step." The chamber filled with nervous murmurs, a mission, a chance, a desperate hope. Humanity had left them alone, but not abandoned them completely. Somewhere out there, humans were preparing for the coming storm. Part 1 ends with suspense. Vorin raised his staff. "To all members of the Galactic Council, prepare your fleets, guard your borders, and send your best envoys. We begin the search for humanity immediately." The chamber lights went out one final time, leaving only the hologram of the threatening alien silhouette, cold, dark, watching. "Because if we fail to find the humans," Vorin whispered, "the galaxy will not survive what comes next." The search team gathered in the dim hangar of the council station. Ships hummed softly, lights blinked, and tension filled the air so thick that even the breathing of alien ambassadors sounded loud. They were about to begin the most important mission of their lives, finding humanity before the unknown enemy reached the inner systems. But before the ships launched, Chancellor Vorin had ordered one more emergency meeting in a smaller chamber, a place usually used for classified matters. Only 5 key representatives were invited, because there was a secret the council had buried, a secret about the humans. The chamber of records, the door opened with a low hiss, revealing a spherical room lined with glowing data crystals. At the center, an ancient AI unit hovered silently like a ghost of forgotten truth. Representative Lyra entered first, her feathers brushing the air. She felt something strange, almost like guilt or maybe fear. The amphibian Jorah followed quietly, carrying a datapad almost as big as his body. Ambassador Kethar stomped in heavily, still looking defensive even though he was pale from fear, and then Vorin arrived. He didn't look like a leader today, he looked like someone carrying a terrible weight. "Sit," he said softly. They obeyed. "The humans warned us before." Vorin activated the AI. Blue light flooded the room. "This chamber holds all suppressed council files," he said, "everything hidden from public knowledge." Lyra frowned. "Hidden? Why hide anything?" Kethar clicked his claws nervously. "Politics," he muttered. "Things get buried." Vorin took a deep breath. "Humans warned us about this enemy before, many times." The room grew silent. "Why didn't the council act?" Jorah whispered. Vorin's eyes darkened. "We didn't believe them." Kethar let out a bitter growl. "Humans see threats everywhere. They act like every shadow is a monster." Lyra glared at him. "Humans have instincts. They sense danger before others do." The AI interrupted with a cold digital tone, displaying suppressed human warnings. A hologram appeared, a tall human woman in military uniform. Her expression was serious, her eyes sharp. "First warning, 12 years ago," her voice echoed through the chamber. "This is Commander Adriana Shaw of the Earth Strategic Defense Force. Explorers in the Harkin cluster have found strange ruins. Not ruins from any known species. The structures emit energy signatures older than recorded history." Lyra leaned in. "That's near the rim where the new enemy is appearing." Commander Shaw continued. "These ruins match patterns found in ancient human myths, stories of sky eaters, entities that consume stars. We request high-level access and council investigation." The hologram ended. Vorin lowered his head. The council laughed at them. Jorah blinked. Laughed. Vorin nodded. "They said humans were imagining ghosts." Kethar grunted. "We had no proof." Lyra hissed softly. "But humans did." Second warning, 7 years ago another hologram appeared, a human scientist, older, wearing a lab coat. We detected gravitational anomalies near uninhabited sectors. Something is moving out there, something large, something ancient. We must prepare defensive measures. This time, the council had not even replied. The message was stamped irrelevant. Vorin spoke quietly. It was marked as a human overreaction. Lyra looked sick. Humans had been trying to protect them, and the council had ignored every signal. Third warning: 3 years ago, the next hologram was from a human diplomat. We believe the enemy may be testing us, watching us. We urge the council to allow joint patrols, to build new defenses, and to strengthen unity. If we do not work together, the council will fall first. Jorah whispered. We turned down the joint patrol request. Kethar looked away. It would have made humans more powerful. Vorin's voice was heavy with shame. We feared humans becoming too influential, and because of that fear, we rejected the people who wanted to save us. Lyra's feathers drooped. We broke their trust. The final warning: 1 year ago, the last hologram flickered with static. A human speaker, voice distorted but urgent, said, "If the council doesn't act, we will begin our own preparations. We won't wait to be destroyed. We hope you join us, but if not, we will prepare alone." Then the message ended abruptly. The room stayed silent for a long time. Everyone felt the truth settle like a heavy stone. Humans didn't abandon the council. The council abandoned them first. The human withdrawal. Vorin finally spoke. 1 year after that warning, humans left. Kethar sank back into his seat. So humans tried to help us and we refused them. Lyra whispered. No wonder they withdrew quietly. Jorah gulped. But why remove all their ships, their ambassadors, their trade routes, everything? The AI answered before anyone else could. Humans withdrew because remaining with the council would slow down their preparation for war. A cold chill ran through the group. They had misunderstood everything. Humans were not angry. Humans were not dramatic. Humans were not retaliating. Humans were preparing for the enemy, preparing for survival, preparing for something the council had refused to face. The human behavior records. The AI loaded another set of files. A giant screen displayed human behavioral patterns during existential threats, compiled secretly by the Council Anthropology Division. Kethar frowned. Why do we have this? Vorin sighed. Humans are unpredictable. The council studied them. The AI read aloud. Humans respond to danger with preparation, innovation, and unexpected strategies. Humans are capable of extreme sacrifice for survival. Humans plan ahead, build fallback systems, and create hidden defenses. Lyra murmured, "That's exactly what they're doing now." Then the AI revealed something chilling. When humans sense a major threat, they isolate themselves, gather resources, and create large-scale defense projects. Jorah asked quietly, "So humans didn't leave us, they went to fight?" The AI responded, "Correct." A buried human project. Another file opened. Project Dawn Shield classification. Human military secret status. Unknown. Kethar's eyes widened. "What is that?" The AI explained. Project Dawn Shield is believed to be humanity's last resort defense plan. A large-scale weapon or barrier built to counter ancient threats. Vorin stiffened. "Why didn't humans tell us about this?" The AI replied, "They did, but the council classified their message and never responded." Lyra slammed her hand against the table. "How could the council be so blind?" Vorin whispered, "We feared human power more than the unknown threat." A heavy silence filled the room. Kethar finally spoke. "If humans completed this Dawn Shield, then they might be the only ones who can stop the enemy." The first clue. Jorah tapped his datapad nervously. "Before this meeting, I analyzed something. The human warning signal we received earlier, it wasn't sent from human territory." Lyra turned to him sharply. "From where then?" Jorah brought up a star map. A small blinking point appeared near the nebula clusters. "This is an uncharted system. No colonies, no history, but there is a human signature there." Vorin's eyes widened. "A secret outpost?" "Yes," Jorah answered. one not recorded in any council data. Kethar leaned forward. Why build a hidden outpost in deep space? Lyra whispered, because humans were planning something big. Jorah added, and I think they left something there, maybe clues, maybe technology, maybe a message. Vorin stood. Then this is where we go. A dangerous debate, but Kethar raised a claw. We are risking everything. What if humans don't want to be found? Lyra shot back. They warned us, they helped us, they tried, they won't abandon us now. Kethar hissed, how do you know? Humans might see us as a burden. Vorin raised his hand. Enough. Humans care about survival, not just their own, but everyone's. Even when we failed them, they never truly failed us. Jorah nodded slowly. And if humanity is preparing for war, they might already be fighting. The thought made the room colder. Departure preparations, the chamber doors opened. The search team stood ready. A Farlian Star scout, known for speed, a Torga heavy cruiser for protection, an avian long-range sensor, ship a diplomatic vessel with emergency protocols, a council AI drone for shield analysis. Vorin gave the final order. You will travel to the nebula system. You will find the human outpost, and you will uncover their plan. He paused, then added in a softer voice, and if humans have turned their backs on us, then we must win back their trust. Lyra bowed her head. We won't fail. The hangar burst into motion. Engines roared, lights flashed. All around them the stars seemed to pulse with tension. The 5 ships lifted into the dark void, forming a tight formation. The mission had begun. But as the ships left the station, Jorah noticed something on his console, one more fragment from the unknown enemy's signal. He played it quietly. A monstrous voice whispered, your light will fade. We consumed your builders. We will consume you next. Jorah felt his blood turn to ice. He didn't tell the others, not yet. Better to wait until they found the humans, if they could find them. Part 2 ending hook for Part 3. As the fleet disappeared into the nebula, a final message blinked onto Lyra's screen. A human message. A single line. If you have come this far, then you are not too late yet. Lyra's feathers rose in fear and hope. Humanity hadn't abandoned them. Humanity had left a trail, but the enemy was closer than they knew. The search fleet entered the nebula like insects flying into the mouth of a sleeping beast. The gas clouds around them were thick and glowing softly, shifting colors from blue to crimson as the ships moved. All sensors flickered. Static crawled across every screen. The nebula did not behave like normal space. It felt alive. Lyra sat at the front of her avian sensor ship, wings folded tight to her body. Her sharp eyes scanned the readings constantly. She had never seen readings like these, not even in training simulations. Gravitational shifts, electromagnetic waves, something is disturbing the nebula from inside, she whispered. The Farlian scout captain, Rental, spoke through comms, his voice calm but serious. Everyone stay in formation. Nebulas like this are unstable, but this one feels wrong. Kethar growled from his heavy cruiser. Humans were here. This nebula carries human engine residue. They came through recently. Vorin, observing from the diplomatic ship, felt a chill. Why would they hide a secret outpost in such a dangerous place? Lyra answered quietly, because they wanted to make sure no one else could reach it, and that made everyone uneasy. The first sign of trouble, Jorah, the amphibian scientist, tapped rapidly on his datapad. I'm picking up something, not a ship, not a planet, something big moving. Rental asked how big. Jorah hesitated. Larger than a battle cruiser. Kethar scoffed. Probably a nebula beast. Many space creatures live. Before he finished, every ship's alarm screamed at once. Lyra's feathers bristled. No, this isn't a creature. It's artificial. A dark silhouette appeared in the swirling fog. Massive, angular, with sharp edges like bone carved into steel. Its hull absorbed light rather than reflected it. A ship. But not one built by any known species, and not human. Rental's voice dropped into a whisper. It's them. The unknown enemy. The enemy approaches. The silhouette grew closer, slowly turning its monstrous body. A single violet eye-like structure glowed in its center, staring at them like a predator choosing its meal. Lyra felt her heart beating too loud. "They detected us," Jorah squeaked. "No, no, no, our shields are too weak." The enemy ship moved without engines, gliding through space like a ghost. It made no noise, no radio signal, nothing alive should move like that. Vorin ordered quickly, "Do not engage, repeat, do not engage, we cannot fight this thing." But Cathar, proud and stubborn, refused. "They attack us. We fight, Torga never runs." He commanded his cruiser, "Charge weapons." Rental shouted Cathar no, but it was too late. The heavy cruiser fired 2 plasma bolts at the alien ship. The blue fire struck its hull, then vanished. Like drops of water hitting a hot stone. The alien ship didn't even acknowledge the attack. Instead, a ripple spread across its surface. Lyra watched in horror as a massive energy wave formed in front of it, glowing with white-hot intensity. Jorah screamed, "It's aiming at us." The first strike the alien ship fired. Not a beam, not a missile, not any known weapon, it fired a hole in space itself. A ripple tore through the nebula, bending light, crushing gas clouds, sparkling with deadly energy. It hit Cathar's cruiser before anyone could react. There was no explosion, no fire, no debris. The cruiser simply folded, crushed inward like paper, then vanished into dust. Cathar's voice disappeared mid-scream. Lyra stared in silent shock. Her feathers trembled, her heart sinking. Rental whispered what everyone felt, "We cannot fight this." "The retreat, retreat," Vorin ordered. The small fleet scattered, engines at maximum burn, pushing through the unstable nebula. The alien ship didn't chase. It didn't need to, it was watching, following, waiting. Every alarm screamed. Static burst across every comm channel. The nebula shook violently as they flew deeper into its heart. Jorah clutched his datapad. "It's hurting us." Lyra narrowed her eyes. "Hurting or guiding?" "What do you mean?" Rental asked. "Look at the readings. The gravitational waves are strongest behind us. The alien ship isn't trying to kill us, it's driving us towards something." Vorin exhaled shakily, toward the human outpost. Everyone realized the terrifying truth: the enemy was not just hunting. It was testing them, pushing them, observing their reactions, just like the humans warned. The hidden human outpost, the nebula, opened suddenly, revealing a small pocket of calm space, a rare circular clearing. At its center floated a metallic structure half buried in thick clouds of glowing dust. A human outpost, small, old, quiet. A symbol of the Earth unity glowed faintly on its hull. Lyra felt a surge of hope. They were here, humans built this. Rental guided his ship closer. Docking now. The fleet formed a defensive circle around the tiny station. The alien ship stopped at the edge of the nebula pocket, watching them from the shadows but not entering, as if respecting human territory, or fearing it. That made Lyra even more afraid. Inside the outpost, the docking tubes engaged, and Vorin led the away team inside. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Dust particles floated like silent ghosts. Everything felt abandoned for a long time. Jorah examined the walls. No signs of decay. Humans built this with strong alloys, but it's been inactive years maybe. Vorin found a console and wiped dust off it. A human interface blinked awake slowly, like someone opening tired eyes. Lyra looked around the central room. This was once a hub full of human scientists and soldiers. She could feel their presence, but also their absence. Suddenly, the screen lit fully, projecting the image of a human AI hologram. A middle-aged man appeared, wearing a captain's uniform with calm but serious eyes. He spoke. "If you are seeing this message, the enemy has reached the nebula, and that means humanity failed to stop them sooner." The team listened in silence, breath held. The AI continued. "We left this outpost as a trail for the Council. If you came here, then you are looking for us. And if you are looking for us, you are in danger." Vorin stepped closer. "Where are the humans now? Where did they go?" But the AI shook its head gently. We are beyond Council space, beyond the rim, building the final defense. The Dawn Shield, the mythical project the Council ignored, the instructions left behind the AI continued. The enemy feeds on fear, silence, and weakness, but they fear something too. Lyra whispered, "What do they fear?" The AI answered, "Humans." Everyone froze. The AI explained, "Centuries ago, humans survived something similar. Our ancient ancestors saw creatures like these, sky eaters, void predators, and they learned how to fight them." Rental asked softly, How do humans fight something that erases ships in seconds?" The AI smiled grimly, "Not with brute force, with resilience, with adaptation, with unpredictability." The screen flickered as the AI projected a star map. "We left 3 coordinates hidden across the nebula. Follow them. Each location contains part of the message you will need to reach us." Lyra's feathers rose. "So this outpost is only the beginning." The AI continued, "We still believe in the Council, even if you never believed in us." That line hit Vorin hard. His throat tightened, and then the AI delivered the final warning, "But hurry. If the enemy has found you, they have found us." The screen went dark. "The enemy knocks." At that exact moment, all the ship's alarms blared. Rental shouted through comms, "The alien ship is moving fast." The nebula clouds exploded outward as the monstrous ship entered the clearing. Its violet eye glowed dangerously. It had waited long enough. It was coming to finish them. And this time it did not fire a warning shot. "Escape under fire, launch now," Vorin yelled. The search team sprinted back to their ships. The outpost shook violently as the enemy charged its weapon, a swirling orb of collapsing space. Rental's scout ship undocked first, engines burning white-hot. Jorah scrambled aboard his science vessel. Lyra leaped back into her cockpit. The diplomatic ship launched last, but barely. The alien weapon fired, tearing the space where the outpost stood. The human building folded inward and vanished in a silent flash. But the fleet escaped by inches. The nebula roared behind them. Clouds collapsed. Lightning flashed through the gas. Rental shouted, "They're chasing us." Lyra checked her readings. "No, they're observing us again. They want to see if we follow the human trail." Vorin's voice came through the comms, low and steady. "Then we follow it, we find humans, we bring them back, or the galaxy ends." Part 3 ending hook for Part 4. The search fleet disappeared deeper into the nebula, chasing the first coordinate left behind by humanity. Behind them, the alien ship watched, waiting. The enemy now understood something terrifying. The Council was searching for the humans, and the humans were their greatest threat. The real war was about to begin. The nebula around the fleet grew darker as they flew deeper into the unknown. Colors faded. Signals weakened. Even time itself felt slower here. This part of space carried an ancient silence, one that felt heavy, as if history had been buried in its depths. Lyra sat at her console, scanning endlessly, her feathers tight against her body. Something had changed in the nebula. The normally swirling clouds felt still, watching, listening. Rental, the Farlian scout captain, broke the silence. "Stay alert. The enemy may still be observing us." Vorin replied, voice steady but heavy, "We follow the human's trail, no matter what is waiting ahead." 3 coordinates, 3 clues, and then humans. But first they had to survive. Coordinate 1, the Grave of Sparks. The first human coordinate led the fleet to a region called the Grave of Sparks on old star charts. It was a massive field of dead satellites, broken ships, and metallic debris floating like a vast graveyard. Lyra whispered, shocked, "These are human ships, old, damaged, forgotten, but not destroyed by war, destroyed by something stranger." Rental scanned the area. "There's no heat, no life, no energy in this entire field." Jorah, the amphibian scientist, pointed his trembling finger at a twisted hull. "Look at that. The metal, it's turned inside out, like space folded around it." The others stayed silent. This was human territory once. This field was part of a battle humans fought long ago and never told the Council about. Vorin said softly. They faced the enemy before, and they survived. His voice carried a strange mix of sadness and admiration. The message hidden in Ruin's Lyra's sensors beeped, a human signal buried deep inside that debris. They approached slowly, careful not to disturb floating wrecks. At the center they found a glowing metal sphere, small and old but intact, a human black box. Vorin ordered, "Retrieve it, immediately." When they brought it aboard, the sphere opened like a metal flower, projecting a hologram. A young human engineer appeared, grease on her face, jacket torn, eyes determined. She spoke. "If you found this, you must go deeper. We fought them here long before the Council noticed their shadow." Kethar would have mocked humans before, but now even he would have listened with respect if he were still alive. The engineer continued. "We studied the enemy, learned their weaknesses. They cannot detect emotion they do not understand. Hope confuses them. Courage disrupts them. Unpredictability blinds them." Lyra whispered, "Humans fight with feelings and that confuses the enemy." Jorah nodded. "Humans are different from us. They act strange, illogical. That is their power." The message continued. "Go to Coordinate 2, the silent passage, but be careful. This place changed us. It may change you too." The hologram vanished. Crossing the silent passage, the fleet left the graveyard and headed toward Coordinate 2. As soon as they entered the region known as the Silent Passage, all sound stopped. Literally. No ship hum, no sensor pings, no comm signals, even breathing felt quiet. Jorah tapped his earpiece. "My comm is dead," Rental tried speaking, but his voice wasn't transmitted anywhere. Every ship was trapped in absolute silence. It was as if the universe muted itself. Lyra typed a message on her display, "Enemy interference." Vorin typed back, "No, this is human-made." The fleet moved carefully through the silent corridor. Strange structures floated around them, ancient stone-like monoliths, tall and perfectly smooth, arranged in patterns. Lyra stared out the window. These looked ceremonial, like markers. Jorah shivered. Markers for what? Before anyone could answer, one of the monoliths lit up. A beam of soft golden light hit Lyra's ship. Her heart skipped. Her sensors glowed with human code. A new message appeared. "You are not enemies, you are seekers. Follow the path." Another beam drew a glowing line through the nebula, a safe route. Vorin exhaled in awe. The humans left this corridor to protect travelers from the enemy's scanners. Rental added, "They knew the enemy would track us, so they created a silent shield to hide us." The fleet followed the golden trail. The shadows watching halfway through the silent passage. Lyra's sensors picked up something faint, like footsteps, like breathing, like whispers behind them. She typed, "Something is following us." Rental responded, "Enemy ship." Lyra shook her head. "No, too small, too fast, multiple small shapes." Her feathers rose. She zoomed the feed. Dark, shadowy silhouettes floated behind the fleet, shifting shapes with glowing eyes. Not ships, not creatures. Something in between. Jorah nearly dropped his datapad. "These are watchers. The enemy uses them to observe minds, not bodies." The shadows moved closer. Every ship's lights flickered. Vorin typed quickly, "Don't show fear." Humans said the enemy reads emotions. But the watchers were getting closer, closer. Then something happened. The golden line beneath the fleet pulsed brightly. The shadows hissed, silent but visible, and withdrew instantly. Lyra stared, stunned. "The human trail scares them." Jorah whispered, "Humans fought these things and survived. They learned how to frighten the enemy." Rental added, "Humans are unpredictable. The enemy fears what it doesn't understand." The watchers fled into darkness. The path ahead glowed stronger, guiding the fleet to Coordinate 3. Coordinate 3, the heart of the nebula. As they reached the final coordinate, the nebula opened into a massive, empty sphere of clear space. Floating at the center was a colossal human structure, a ring-shaped station glowing with soft blue lights. It was beautiful, old, grand, and unmistakably human. Jorah gasped. "This is a human star forge, but modified. They turned it into something else." Vorin whispered, "This must be part of Project Dawn Shield." The fleet docked. Inside, they found enormous halls filled with machines, holograms, and empty workstations. It felt like a city abandoned moments before the people left. Lyra touched a console. It activated instantly, recognizing her as an ally. A new AI appeared, older, wiser, wearing an admiral's uniform. He spoke calmly. "Welcome, Council team. If you reach this place, it means you wish to understand." He waved his hand and the entire chamber transformed into a holographic map. A map of the galaxy. On one side, the Council. On the other, a region marked Unknown Void. From the void, dark tendrils reached into the galaxy. The Admiral spoke. "The enemy awoke earlier than we expected. We underestimated them once. We will not do so again." Vorin stepped forward. "Where are your people now? We need you. The galaxy needs humanity." The hologram paused, then said, "We are at the final line, beyond the rim where the darkness begins." Lyra's eyes widened. "They're already fighting," the Admiral nodded. "We didn't abandon the galaxy. We moved ahead to slow the enemy, to give you time." Jorah whispered, "Time for what?" The Admiral turned to him. "Time to choose whether you will run or stand with humanity." The room fell into painful silence. Then the Admiral delivered the final revelation. "We leave one last coordinate, the gateway to the Dawn Shield, but only come if you truly intend to fight." The screen flickered with the final location, far from everything, far beyond safety, into the unknown void. The enemy returned suddenly. Alarms blared through the station. Lyra looked at her console. "They found us. The enemy is approaching." Rental shouted, "They're entering the forge's perimeter." Jorah stuttered, They learned from our behavior, they followed our fear." Lights dimmed. The enemy's massive ship appeared outside, its violet eye glowing like a demon. The station shook. The Admiral's AI raised a shield around the forge. "Go, follow the final coordinate. We will hold them as long as we can." Vorin yelled, "Everyone back to your ships, now." The team sprinted. The alien ship fired again, but the human shield absorbed the hit. "Barely," Jorah cried. "It won't hold long." Vorin shouted, "Set course to the final coordinate, full speed." Lyra initiated the jump. Rental followed. The diplomatic ship moved next. As the fleet escaped, the human forge flickered like a dying star. The Admiral's last words echoed through the comms. "Find us before the darkness finds you." Star Part 4 end hook for final Part 5. The fleet jumped into the unknown void, chasing the last coordinate humans left behind. Behind them, the nebula burned. The enemy shrieked. The human forge fought desperately, and somewhere far beyond the galaxy, humanity waited, and humanity was ready. The jump into the final coordinate was unlike any the fleet had ever experienced. When the Council ships left the human forge behind, space did not stretch. It collapsed, folding inward like a lens focusing light. Lyra clutched her seat tightly. Her feathers shook as the ship vibrated. Rental's calm voice cracked through the comms. "This is not a normal jump. This is some kind of human-designed hyperspace corridor." Jorah clung to a railing, looking sick. "It's rewriting gravity. Humans changed the jump space itself." Even Vorin, who had once thought human courage was reckless, now stared silently ahead. "They went farther than the Council ever allowed them," he whispered. Then darkness, a still, perfect darkness, and then slowly light bloomed like dawn breaking after an eternal night. Arrival at the edge of existence, the fleet emerged into an impossible place. There were no stars, no planets, no matter. Only a faint glowing wall stretching across infinity like a curtain made of golden dust. Lyra gasped. This is not normal space." Rental nodded slowly. "We are outside the galaxy." Jorah's eyes were wide, reflecting the glowing wall. "Then that means humans are here." Vorin felt something else, a vibration, a distant hum, almost like music. "Do you hear that?" he asked. Lyra nodded. "It's not sound, it's energy. Something huge is active nearby." The fleet approached the golden wall, which shimmered like liquid light. Then they saw it, and no one spoke for almost a full minute. Star, the dawn shield floating above the golden horizon, was humanity's creation. A ring so enormous it looked like a halo for the galaxy itself. A superstructure built from glowing silver metal, stretching across thousands of kilometers. Millions of tiny ships moved across its surface like insects building a colossal machine, but the real shock came from its center. Inside the ring, a swirling sphere of blue-white energy pulsed like a living star. Lyra whispered, almost breathless, "Humans built this." Jorah could barely speak. A star forge powered by artificial gravity mixed with dark energy. This is impossible. Vorin swallowed hard. No, this is humanity. A deep voice echoed through their ship speakers. Council fleet, remain where you are. Your arrival has been detected. Identify yourselves. Rental quickly transmitted a diplomatic signal. This is Captain Rental of the Council. We seek humanity. We bring no harm. A moment of silence. Then you may approach. Lyra exhaled in relief. They accepted us. Approaching the human citadel as the fleet approached the Dawn Shield, they saw ships unlike anything the Council had ever studied. Human vessels with organic curves. Massive destroyers with rotating energy rings. Stealth frigates that flickered between real space and something else. Some ships had hulls that shimmered like liquid metal. Some had glowing lines that pulsed like veins. But every ship, every single one, was pointed outward, toward the dark void, ready for war. The hangar doors of the central human citadel opened, revealing a landing platform. A soft voice guided them. Proceed to Docking Bay 3. Admiral Rehan will receive you. The Council delegation boarded their shuttle, hearts pounding. They were finally about to meet humanity. Star, the first human they saw as they landed. The docking bay lights turned on one by one. A tall figure stood waiting for them, human, armored, powerful, but not unkind. He wore a dark gray exosuit with glowing blue lines. His eyes held sharp intelligence and fatigue, as if he had not slept peacefully in years. Lyra instinctively stepped back. He looked dangerous. Vorin stepped forward carefully. We came because the enemy has returned, and we believe humans are the only ones who understand how to stop it. The human stared at them for a moment. Then he spoke, voice calm and steady. You're late. Rental bowed respectfully. We came as soon as we understood. Humanity left us clues. The human nodded slightly. That was the plan. He turned and gestured for them to follow. Inside the Dawn Shield, walking through the citadel felt like walking through the future. Walls pulsed with energy like blood through veins. Holograms floated around them. Human technicians moved quickly, carrying data pads, tools, and weapons. But the strangest thing, no one looked afraid. Focused, yes. Determined, yes, but not afraid. Lyra whispered, they're fighting an ancient enemy and they don't fear it. The Admiral overheard her. Fear is natural, but humans learn to use it, to sharpen it, to turn it into action. He stopped before a massive circular window. Outside, the Dawn Shield glowed like a burning ring. Everything you see, the Admiral said softly, was built to hold the line, to protect the galaxy, even those who didn't believe us. Vorin lowered his eyes. We failed humanity more than once. The Admiral sighed. We know, but humans don't hold grudges forever. We hold hope longer than anger. Then he turned toward them. You found us because you have hope too. Star, the enemy, attacks the Dawn Shield suddenly. Alarms erupted through the citadel. Red lights flashed. Walls pulsed faster. The floor vibrated. A human soldier ran up. Admiral, the void entity has arrived. Lyra's blood froze. No, it followed us again. Holograms sprang to life, showing a colossal shadow approaching the Dawn Shield. The same violet eye, the same hunger, the same impossible presence. Jorah trembled. It's bigger now, the Admiral nodded. It fed on nebula energy. It grows with each kill. Rental looked at the human defensive fleet forming a wall around the structure. You intend to fight it. The Admiral smiled. We intend to stop it. Humanity's strategy revealed. The council members watched in awe as the human ships moved, not in straight lines, not in formation, but like a living organism, flowing, adapting, unpredictable. The Admiral pointed to the hologram. Humanity learned that this enemy sees logic as a map. Predictability is death, strategy is weakness. Lyra whispered, so humans fight illogically. The Admiral corrected her, we fight creatively. Then he issued the command, activate Dawn Shield. Star, the Dawn Shield awakens. The massive ring outside the window began to spin slowly. Then faster, faster, faster. The glowing sphere at its center erupted with white-blue energy. A shockwave rippled through reality itself. Lyra gasped. It's creating a distortion field. Jorah analyzed quickly. No, it's bending dark energy itself. Humans created a barrier the enemy cannot phase through. The Admiral nodded. Exactly. The enemy ship slammed into the glowing wall and was thrown back violently. For the first time ever, the Council saw the enemy weakened. Jorah whispered. They heard it. The Admiral corrected him. No, we stunned it. Now we finish it. The final strike. Human fleets surrounded the stunned enemy. Their weapons glowed brighter than stars. Every ship fired, bolt after bolt, blast after blast. The void creature screamed silently as its form cracked, crumbled, and finally exploded into fragments of dark dust. The Dawn Shield dimmed, human ships powered down, and silence returned. Lyra watched with tears on her feathers. You saved us, you saved everyone. The Admiral looked at her calmly. No, we bought time. His expression hardened. More are coming. Vorin stepped forward. Then let us stand with you. The Admiral studied them. Will the Council truly fight, truly unite, truly listen this time? Vorin bowed deeply. Humanity trusted us even when we did not trust them. Now we trust you. Teach us, lead us, we will follow. The Admiral reached out his hand, and Vorin took it. Star final closing line, HFY style. As the galaxy prepared for the war to come, one truth became clear. Humanity never abandoned the Council. They stepped forward into the dark, so others could follow the light. And now humanity would lead the final stand.